Hello and welcome to another video in a community that believes weird is wonderful and magic is real. And welcome to, I guess, a vlog. We haven't done vlogs in a hot minute, and this one's going to be difficult for me. But we will be discussing some life updates, some life changes, both I positive and negative, I guess, is the best way to describe it. Life's just being lifey, and I have things to share that are hard, and I have things to share that are happy. So we're going to get started right now before I start crying. Okay? All right. Lumos. And I'll say I was going to just like move around the house because I feel like when you're doing a vlog, like you gotta be like up and going, and I feel like I could just bore people if I just sit in one spot. But considering what I want to discuss today, I don't know if want's the right word, at least for some of it is, I need to do what is really low effort right now, and I want to thank you for anybody watching this. I need to make this video for a number of reasons. But first, we're going to start with the positive. Normally, I like to get the bad out of the way, but I will cry. That's why I got the thumbnail done beforehand. And if you're in the Discord group, you already know what I'm going to be talking about, but I get to talk about it in length in this video. So grab a cup of something, and if you're an empath like me, grab some tissues. But I'm going to start with positive news first. And this is positive news that doesn't... Also, I wanted to give you another angle of the studio, and I have to film this portion in this studio because it affects... it relates to the topic I want to talk about right now. But I just like the angle. I finally, if you're in the Discord group, we had to have this mirror swapped 3 times because it was broken so many times, and we finally got a mirror that is not broken, and I love it. So this is actually the angle that I see when I'm sitting at my desk, and that's very relevant because for those of you that don't know, and this is more, both of these are personal life things, and a number of you have told me that you seem to care about me as a person. So thank you for those that do and aren't just here for the things. I love the things. If you can't tell, I think I had a thought considering recent updates that I almost wish I started a vlogging channel because you get to look back at your life and you get to capture a lot of things you wish you captured. And we have done a number of vlogs on this channel, and I will continue to do so. But the first update that I want to share, and like I said, I shared these in the Discord group, is I have been, and if you've been watching this channel, I'm prefacing all of this. I'm not looking forward to recording this video, but I really need to, okay? For those of you new, the muggle job that I have held for over 9 years was working for a public library and working in the tech services department. I worked in the back, and I got to catalog the books. I got to do a job I really loved. And for those of you who have watched for a while, and I can think back to a couple videos, there's a video called Fall Things, Whole Things, and Feeling Things. I discussed a bit of this, and there was a video, I think it was just the Christmas decorations reveal, talking about being depressed. It's a really fitting video to talk about that in. I shared that the job that I had been in, and am no longer in, had become really difficult on a number of levels. And I'm not going to get into all of those details. I will in the Discord group because that feels like a more private space. Not completely private, but enough that I can share some of those details to really show my personal experience and perspective of how things changed, impacted me. It became a very, very, very challenging place for me to be. From I guess what I've realized, what I want to say, and if it hasn't become abundantly clear, I got a new job. I got a new job and I'm really, really excited by it. And I'll talk about like the job, not in detail, but just some of the benefits of it and some of them, how they'll impact the channel. But this past job that I literally just left yesterday, it was my last day yesterday. Today is June 7th. My last day was the 6th. I start my new job on the 11th on Wednesday, so I have 4 whole days of being jobless, which feels really weird. Also, I told my husband it feels weird to have health insurance because since my job ended on June 6th, it actually goes through the month of June. To live in the United States of America, have health insurance, and not have a job. It's a wild feeling, okay? If you know, you know. I envy those of you who could leave a job and still not worry about your health or, you know, getting seen or all of that sort of thing. But this job, I guess on the surface level, what I want to say, and I have shared, my boss was a very difficult person, not just for my personality, a number of other people shared, but I'll try and speak for myself. Very difficult for me to work with. I've described her as a micromanager, and I feel that is quite accurate. So if any of you have ever worked for somebody who is a micromanager to a T, from just like the incessant notes of how to do your job after 9+ years, to being surprised that you know how to do stuff. It's just the little things, like just you're not trusted even though you were hired to do it. It's exhausting, demeaning, and I don't think this person realizes, I don't think any person who is essentially a micromanager realizes what they're doing is suffocating to their employees. It's not creating a good work environment. So that was a big part of that. I then, without getting into the details, I've shared with many of you that I've been diagnosed ADHD, and I'm pretty sure I'm on the autism spectrum. I've just been trying to find a place that will see me and diagnose me, but I'm definitely diagnosed ADHD. And I learned over time that ADHD and autism are ADA covered. There's some accommodations that can be made. And I'm putting this out there without getting in the details, because if you're also neurodivergent on some spectrum in some way, that making the cognizant choice to share that with your workplace, I would say it varies place to place, and to really think through, because it is trusting of not being judged of a lot of things. And one of the things, so I did share, I did seek accommodation from being able to wear my, I don't think I have them up here, my noise canceling headphones. They help me to focus better, to getting an accommodation for my schedule. And I did end up getting that. But I experienced what I have looked back to realize was bullying over a number of years from a couple of coworkers. And I ended up learning from a coworker some of the things that were said about me, that I had a feeling were said. And it just ultimately, and when I sought help from HR, a place that should really be there for you and be unbiased and hear you, even having another coworker share what they heard said about me, literally my boss making comments to one of my coworkers about how I shouldn't be allowed to make an ADA accommodation. There was just, I talked about this in another video of places promoting DEI, but not really understanding what it means to embrace it. And what it really means is not just saying, we accept you, we'll hire you, all of these things. Actually accepting the person. And I think to do that, you have to bother to understand something that might not be your experience. And I don't feel that that was attempted at the place I worked. So it became everything on every level. There's so much more I could get into with how this job has been for me. And it didn't start out that way. It was a dream job, personally. So I will share some of that in the Discord group. But what I did realize is I shared this with my husband, and it was like the moment I learned that I got the job, is it's been traumatizing. It is trauma. And that feels like a really big word to use. There's been a number of things in my life that I've realized have been trauma. Like I had to, when you put yourself out there to go get another job, you have to be confident. You have to be, I can do this job. You should hire me. And here's why. And I had felt so beat down, and I had hated that I gave any portion of my being away. Because I used to be a highly motivated person, very ambitious. I was the person in every place that I worked that was the star child, if you will, and really appreciated and just worked really hard. And I never stopped working really hard, but some of those other things were sort of, I don't know if beat out of me is the best way I can put it. So I got to a point, on top of that, my workplace is, and libraries in general are going through a lot of lack of support, budget cuts, but the city that I worked for was very fiscally mismanaged for a number of years, and us lowly people were paying for it. So my department as a whole was going to be going away anyway. And then a layoff occurred this year, which meant laying somebody else off because I was more senior, but then they were going to cut me anyway because I was the least senior in my department. So I was going to be moved anyway on the 1st of July. And I told my husband, because I started looking for jobs prior to the budget being announced, because I could see the writing on the wall and we look at the budget. So we're not blindsided since there's really not much transparency. It's on us to know what's coming. So I told him there's no way, because it's being moved into a completely different job, completely different. It's working for the library, but it would have been doing entirely something new and not something I wanted to do. So I started looking, and I was being really picky about it. And I can say the first job I applied for is the one that I got. I applied for 2 jobs and I got interviews for both, but I really, really wanted this one. I really, really wanted this one. I won't be working for libraries. I could say that. I'm not going to say where I'm working. But actually I am going to say where I'm working. So what I can say, because I start on the 11th and I'm quite nervous. I don't like not knowing things. So, you're starting all over again. It is work that I have done, but it's been 20 years since I've done it. But I know I'm fully capable of doing it. But, just learning new things, learning new people. But one thing I can say is in my interview, I was transparent about literally my experience of, I don't know if coming out is the right word, about being neurodivergent. I shared that I was neurodivergent in my interview, and it felt embraced. It felt like what I was reminded by, not only by my experience applying somewhere else and seeing a glimpse into their work environment, but also some of the coworkers that were looking for other jobs and were able to get them and left, or just got another job in addition to where I used to work, that the culture of where I worked was an anomaly. So I guess what I want to say is, if you are working somewhere where you don't feel appreciated or any of these things that I have mentioned, I just want to say not every place is like that. I know I haven't started this job, but that interview alone, and being able to be transparent about those things and it being made clear to me, like, you're not treated like a number. And I felt treated like a number. A number of people felt treated like a number where I used to work, and just somebody that could just be moved around and shifted and not shine in the ways that they can bring forth per what they're really good at, and why they were hired. So I feel really grateful that I could take something, because it's really, really vulnerable to be transparent about something like that, because I want to make really clear there is nothing wrong with you. You have an abundance of things to bring to the world. I personally find neurotypical people quite boring, honestly. Like, I think I've had a couple comments, and they weren't meant in a hasty way, of just about how I cry in almost every video, or I say I'm going to cry in almost every video. I'm a feeler. I feel things. Like, what is life if you don't feel it? And I go from, I don't know a gray area, but I feel like that is my asset too. So I guess I just want to say, like, I hope you feel safe where you are and where you work, because it's a large majority of your life. And if you don't, please know there are healthy work environments out there. And I'm so, so excited to work with people that it seems will support me for who I am, and I will support them for who they are. So I'm really, really excited. And what I can say that will impact the channel is I will be working from home. I will be working in this office. Like, I feel like that's going to make me cry for positive, reasons. I'll be on that side. It was basically advertised of coming in to the workplace 1 day a week, but I was told in the interview that that's kind of up to me. I probably will, because I think it's going to be a kind of cool building, and I think it's not a bad idea just to kind of kickstart your week that way. But like the rest of the time, I'll be home. I'll get to be home. It'll be an adjustment, for sure, to like record in this space, but also work. Like, I'll need to set up boundaries. The only time I've ever worked from home was during COVID, and we literally had like books shipped like to me, like delivered to me. It's one of the positive things my boss did do, is deliver those books to me so we can keep working, because I didn't have a car. So I know there will be an adjustment, and there's a lot of adjusting. I've gone through so much self-doubt, and that's what's made me realize that there's been a lot of trauma in this job that I need to unpack and rebuild my confidence that I'm fully capable of doing these things. But I have built up so much self-doubt, being overly managed and not trusted, so that I can flourish in all of the ways. I feel like this is just like making me have horrible posture, but I think that is the most exciting thing for me. And I will say, when it is located in Portland, I will say my previous job is not with the city of Portland. And I want to put that out there, because it was a long time dream of living in the Portland, Oregon area. And we did it. We did the thing. We made it work. We are going on, I think, 10 years of living here. And I love this area, and I love this state. And I'm really excited it's one of the reasons I do want to go in 1 day a week, to be more physically connected to a city that I love so much, where weird is embraced. So yeah, and also I'm going to get paid more. Like, it's not a huge amount, but it actually is substantial. So it's just win on top of win. Every category this job hit for me, and I'm so, so excited. And so it can't not impact this channel, both because, both of us have been experiencing depression for some time, and burnout, autistic burnout, ADHD burnout, like, all of the things that are not fun and make filming harder and being excited for things harder. But I get to be home, and I'm so, so excited by that. It'll take some time. I'll still be filming on the weekends, but that is my like really positive news. I can say when I got that call Actually, it was an email. Really tells you how remote it is. When I got that email, because I was just, it was a 2-month process of a number of steps. I went outside and I cried and my hands were shaking, and I was just like messaging Matt, my husband, like, I got the job, and not only did I get the job, I am getting paid more than I thought I was going to get paid. And just my experience in that interview process was heartwarming, and I'm excited to work with these people, and I'm excited to work closer with the city that I love, and I'm excited to work from my home. So yeah, that is the news that I get to share. I know it's more personal news, but I'm the person on this channel, so I wanted to share that. And I'm already thinking about the next thing that I want to talk about, and I don't want to talk about it. I also want to say one more thing, and maybe I'll cut this. I don't know. As this channel grows, this is unrelated to both topics. As this channel grows, more eyes come to it. And let me just say let me just preface what I'm gonna about to say. The weirdness is still on point. What I'm gonna say, and that I'm talking about the comment section here, okay? The majority of the comment section on this channel, like the majority, is positive, loving, supportive people who appreciate and embrace who I am, who love similar things that I share, and that will always be in the forefront of my mind. But I have noticed when your channel grows, it brings eyes of people who don't know you. So I guess what I want to say 2 things. I don't really want to say a lot about the comment section or to particular commenters, but I'm going to briefly, okay? What I want to say is there have been a couple of troll-like comments, and what I mean by that is just straight up hate. And some of it directed at me, and some of it flat out discrimination, homophobic, all of the things. And I will tell you, if you are watching my videos and you feel that that is an okay thing to comment, what are you seeing when you watch my videos? Because that will not, in any form or fashion, be accepted or allowed on this channel. If there's ever any purely hateful comments, whether it's about other people in the comments, whether it's about people who live a lifestyle you don't agree with, your comment will be deleted. Flat out. I don't have this is a community. This isn't just a one-way street. It's why I have Discord. It's a community, and I will protect it to my dying days for as long as I have this channel to be a safe, loving, supportive place. Nothing else is welcome that does not fit that, flat out. And I also want to say, when you forget the troll-like comments, and because there haven't been a lot, there have been a couple comments that are providing me advice. And amongst that advice, there have been assumptions about who I am, what I do behind the scenes, what I should do. And I would just say, take a quick pause and ask yourself if you're making any assumptions about the person before commenting. And if you are, ask them. Don't assume. Ask them, do you do this before you unbox this? Okay? Because the answer might be, I do. Yeah. So I'm just going to put that out there, because what I also want to say is to other creators out there, not only am I making this a safe space, and I'm assuming you all do too, this is to creators, because it's a vulnerable thing to put yourself on camera and share whatever part of your life you share. It's not only making that space safe for other people, you need to make it safe for you too. So anything that makes me feel unsafe to be myself, I will also remove. I thought, You know what? I always wanted to reply to every single comment and never be a person to remove anything. But as eyes have come to the channel, I have learned that there is not a space for everything, because not everything is healthy or positive, nor is it constructive information I need or haven't thought myself. So I just want to put that out there, particularly for creators, because I see you. What you're doing is vulnerable. You don't have to do it. You don't have to record your life. You don't have to share what you spend your money on, what you love. It is vulnerable, okay? And so do not feel shame or doubt, because I used to. If you need to remove something, i.e. a comment, that makes you feel less safe or even frustrated, and you want to retaliate in kind, because I don't really like to do that. That's why I just remove it, because then there's no temptation. So I'm just putting that out there for creators to protect yourselves as well, because it wouldn't exist without you. Your channel wouldn't exist without you. So that is that. That is a transition. I needed the transition because we are going to relocate downstairs and talk about a more difficult topic. I will see you there. If you can watch any part of this video, this part would mean a lot if you did. Let's get that relocated. I'm sorry for all of you feelers out there who feel with me, but thank you for feeling with me. Let me collect myself. What did I say today is the 7th? This is still very fresh. And I don't want to talk about this, but I need to. On June 1st, Sunday, at 6:35 p.m. I don't want to say goodbye, but we had to put down our kitty, our sweet Leia. Matt said to me, for us, I know a lot of people love their pets. It's on another level for us. And they really are like our children. So this was really hard. So I think what I want to share are a number of things. I want to share a little bit of kind of what happened. So if you have pets of your own, maybe these signs would be helpful. I don't know, because you know, but you don't know. It felt very slow, but very fast too. I mean, I literally recorded the Stitch video and the Gryffindor haul the morning she died. So we didn't really know that was going to happen that night. I wish you got to know our Dexter. We had 4 cats for a long time, and they have been all over the country with us. We traveled in an RV with them full time. They have seen so much, and Dexter was the sweetest kitty. But Leia was too. And both of them had a lot of challenges in life. And I told my husband it seems really unfair that the sweetest ones, life challenged them the most. Dexter died at 10 of cancer of his, I believe it was intestines. I can't think straight. My husband might correct me. And Leia's been through a lot. I can say she was 16. We got a lot of time with her, which makes it hard too. So at one point she had to have almost all of her teeth removed who wants that? And almost every night I've been looking for photos and videos of her just to remember her. But also looking back at the photos and videos, it's been helpful because it feels like she's been suffering for a long time. But what we narrowed down is it's probably been just the last 6 months. She started having arthritis issues. We noticed it in her back legs. And then my husband, he's the best. Do you guys notice this? He was home all the time. So he did research. He got some hemp oil and did things that actually it helped her. So if your pet has arthritis, maybe try out hemp oil. They were also on probiotics, but the hemp oil helped. It wasn't a permanent fix, but it did really help. So we noticed that. And then she started to go blind, but she never let it stop her. She walked around. She would bump into things. She would just kind of walk around all over the place and map out the place. So she knew how to get to things. And then oh God, I don't remember when it was. I want to say February. We just looked at it. If you're in the Discord group, you would know about this, but we had to take her to the emergency vet because she had a seizure. We think we might be right in that we think she fell off the couch. So ever since that seizure, we started to push the coffee table here up against the couch so she couldn't really fall off anymore. And that never happened again. She never had another seizure, but we brought her in, and I will say we kind of regret bringing her in because we are the people who look and pay attention to our animals a lot and are constantly, and especially Matt because he's home, looking into the ways to help them and figure out what's going on. And pretty much most of it was just confirming what we already thought. So we ended up spending a lot of money. She ended up having to go through a really difficult process of being there and just being poked and prodded. And it's amazing that she lasted so much longer after that. She had an ear infection. That was the one thing we didn't know about. And then they gave us medication. And after that, she started losing her hearing. So we sort of blamed ourselves for taking her there a little bit, or blamed the vet that it didn't help her, it hurt her. So she now has like no teeth. She lost her vision. She lost her hearing almost completely, a lot of it gone. But she just like, I told Matt, if I can remember anything of her, because she was the most loving cat. Like you touched her and she purred. I just touched her and she purred. And she loved me. And I want to remember that. Because sometimes it's hard when your animal is dying to know, like, did she know I loved her? Did she know I was there with her? With all of that, she just kept loving. She just, like, so much was thrown at her. And she just persevered with positivity and purrs. She was, like, we feel like we have the most unique cats. And personally, we attribute it to how much love we give them. It's a lot. But they, people that do get to meet them say they're like dogs. And I'm like, no, they're like cats. There are cats. They love a lot. They're not what you would typically think of a cat. I mean, with Leia, one of the things that she loved a lot, she loved to purr. She always purring. She loved belly rubs, and a lot of cats just don't like their belly being touched. But you touched her belly, she would roll over, she'd expose herself, and you just like pat her belly, and she loved it. She used to love going outside a lot. We would go and take her for walks, which if you've been watching the channel for a bit, you would have seen her and us taking her on walks. After she lost her vision, she would get a little scared of being out there because also her hearing was going. And I know with hearing loss, it can be challenging to know what direction sounds are coming from. Not only that, she couldn't see things. But she did used to love going out. And I'm sitting right here. Ugh. Because this is where she died. When our Dexter died at 10, we don't have a car, and I won't speak for both of us, but I certainly felt guilty that we weren't being responsible. We had a little pet carrier where he could see outside, and we took him on it, and we had to take him to the vet, and it's a traumatizing experience when you're dying, to be on our scooter, to hop on the train, and then to go to a foreign place to die. If I can. And I also want to pause. Feels weird saying the word pause. I also want to pause because we noticed a decline a little bit on Saturday. And she just seemed like she needed rest. I wanted to hold her. I just wanted to pet her. I wanted her to know it'll be okay. But decided she really just needs rest. So we let her rest, and I recorded those 2 videos. And I came back, and she was laying on a stair that she used to lay on, but she wasn't laying the same. Cats normally have their, like, senses about them, and just, I don't know how to describe it, but she had no energy. She was kind of collapsed. Like the pause where you just notice things. And then she would get up and walk, and she would stop and just stand there kind of waving. And then I was like, well, we got to get her to eat and drink. She went over to her water. We have a water fountain. If you can, it's helpful for cats. I think dogs too, to have the food and water at their level. So we have a water fountain. And if you hear that, that's my cat eating. And I had to hold her because she was falling into it. Like I was afraid she was going to drown. So then I took her over the food because she really needed to eat something. She was very skinny at this point and weak. And she loved to eat. She loved wet food, but she loved to eat. And she just could barely lick it. And she couldn't stand up. And then she just like peed herself. And I knew in that moment we weren't gonna get her to recover. So we immediately started prepping. And luckily I had somebody tell me, and this is what I want to say, because if you have animals, this time will come. You don't look forward to it. I really don't. We have 2 cats now still. We've had 4, and I told my husband, my life, I don't know my life without these 4 cats. They've been through so much with us, and we've been through so much with them. And now we have 2. And ironically, they're my oldest and youngest cats, Jasmine and Hermione. And Jasmine, after we got sort of settled and we were sitting on the couch, I held her. And one of the ways I knew, that she was going was she was just collapsed on me. I just held her on my shoulder, and her arms just splayed out, and her head just was collapsed. And I knew that my cat is peeing right now. Oh boy. And we're not covering it, I guess. You just don't want to accept it. And I just wanted to hold her. And my cat, who just peed and is sitting right here, my oldest girl. You want to come here? Probably not. She came over. And we were on the recliner, and she just sat right next to us. She knew. Hermione, no sense about her whatsoever. But she just knew. So Matt and I just sat there. We rotated holding her. and just sitting there and deciding if we needed to make that call. Basically, somebody told us that there's a service out there where the vet can come to your house. And I remember after Dexter dying, we told ourselves, we are only having them come to our house. We don't want to traumatize them, bringing them somewhere that's foreign. We want to be there with them. And I can say for anybody that's concerned, one of the concerns we had, but it wasn't going to stop us from doing it, is losing them in your home going to change how you feel about your home and make you sad to be in the area that they died? But I guess that's the other thing I want to mention is, like, I'm going to be all over the place. I'm sorry. She loved the sun. She can't even see, but she could feel it. And she was so weak, she could barely walk. And she made her way over here and laid down, like sprawled out in a way I've never seen before. Did you really just poop on the floor? She just pooped on the floor. Oh God, cats. They are my spirit animal. I'm an animal person, but I love cats. She was just sprawled out, and I just was like, she got to enjoy the sun one last time. Like, that's what a fighter she was. So much, like her body just couldn't take it anymore, but she made it over there. We also got to feed her one last time. If you have cats and you've never heard of nutritional yeast, it is this like cheesy, flaky stuff that us vegans use for a cheesy flavor, and cats love it. Our cats love it more than catnip. And Matt was holding her, and I just put it in my hand and I put it up to her, because one of the things that she would always do is she would just sniff. She sniffed everything. She sniffed a new person. She would sniff me, even though she knows who I am. She always sniffed. It's the way she got to know and be acquainted, and I know she's safe, and she just like ate it out of my hand, and it just like, she didn't even have the energy. It was just all over her face, like to take care of herself. We cleaned her off, but I just was so happy she was able to eat it one last time, and just like she got those little bits of joy. Like, she made it happen. Like, she had so much happen to her. And I want to say, I messaged a friend. Alex, if you're watching this, I know you're probably in tears too. And I told her what was going on and that we were thinking we might have to make that decision. And she said, I'll come over. And I said, I would like that. I know it's a very sacred moment a little bit to share with somebody, but Leia was the cat that just like loved people, and I wanted her to be around as much love as she could be around. And she came over, and I had told her that we finally made the call and they were coming by in a couple hours. And she was there for that process, and she has cats of her own, and I feel guilt having her go through that. But I feel grateful that somebody else got to be there to love Leia, because she deserved it. So thank you, Alex. I know I've said it a number of times. She's been there every day after. But I know it was hard for her too. It's a hard thing to witness. But one thing I will say, one thing that was a gift from our Dexter, being the first cat that we watched die, he gave us the gift of knowing what was coming. And death looks different for everybody. And the vet, who sat right here, walked us through how it could look different, because they basically give a sedation first so that your animal doesn't feel pain, and then they give the drug. We got to see with Dexter, I don't know if I ever shared this story, but we took him, like I said, on the scooter. And it's already a traumatizing thing. And I remember it being really cloudy and like raining a little bit. And
afterwards, after he died, the sun was out. And it just like, I'm not a religious person, and I said this in Discord, and one of you said this too, but I understand believing in something more, even if that something more for me is just the connectiveness of the universe. Everything is connected. But watching him die was, this is going to sound really weird. It was beautiful. I follow this one hospice nurse who, because especially in this country, death is a hard thing. We just avoid it. We don't want to talk about it. We fear it, but it's inevitable for all of us. It's why I say what I say at the end of every video. Because it's always in my mind how fleeting it is. Is she kind of dispels what it looks like to reduce that fear, to know what's natural. And I didn't know what to expect when he died, but it was really beautiful. And it was the same with her. She's such a beautiful cat. And I know everybody says this after somebody dies. But I do wish I could just hold her one more time. And I wish she didn't have to suffer. But that's just end of life. She just suffered more than other cats, and she just like loved so much, regardless of it. And I got to be there with her in our home, and she actually, the vet said to make sure we had a blanket nearby, because things can happen. And the nearest blanket that we had that was clean in this area, everything is Harry Potter, but the nearest blanket we had was a Stitch blanket. And we talked about like the irony of that and how it just embodied her, because like she was struggling a lot for the last 6 months. I mean, pooping and peeing on the floor constantly every day. It's like my husband said, it's weird to want to be able to see a pile of poop on your floor. But she was a little bit of a menace in that way. She would get up to things, and even before she lost her vision, she was a curious kitty. She was the best. And that's Stitch. He gets up to things, but he's adorable. And she was adorable, and she's so beautiful. So she died on a Stitch blanket. But it was the same day I had unboxed the Gryffindor haul. And I just thought, like, she's like a little phoenix. Because there were so many things, just like Dexter. He almost died from a UTI, but there were so many things that happened to her where we could have lost her. I mean, we without a doubt got more life with her because of the research my husband did, and he never gave up, and he always tried. He works so hard to always find out what's going on with them, to give them the best. It's like I said, the sacrifice that she gives by no longer being with us is we can afford slightly better food for the two we have now. But gosh, even with 2 cats, like I remember somebody saying to me, if you ever shared something like this with somebody and it didn't feel reciprocated or understood, because pet grief, especially for people like Matt and I, where we are very, 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 very close to our animals, is a really, really painful thing. It is like losing a child. And it can be vulnerable sharing that with somebody who maybe doesn't see it that way. And I had shared it with somebody at work, and it was so dismissed. And it's kind of crazy the feelings that you feel in grief, because I felt anger. I felt so angry at myself for sharing it. But I know sharing here that for whatever reason, a number of you seem to care about me and have loved my cats. So I want to say thank you to Alex for being there for us, like every day. I think it can be intimidating to be around somebody who's grieving because you don't know what to say. But I remember listening to a grief podcast, and she said, you know, it's just being there. It's just being there. And I remember telling Alex, like, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to say anything. You're just here. Like, just being here is huge. Thank you to my husband, who without a doubt gave us more life with her. Thank you to all of you who have loved her. And thank you to my sweet Leia, who taught me strength in suffering, how much love gets you through things. She loved so much. And I think that's the one thing that we hated. My husband said it. She couldn't purr anymore in her last moments. And he said the world took away her purrs. And it was the one way that she told us that she felt loved. She purred. But one thing I can say is I hated that. It seemed not fair. It's how she communicated to us. Is even in her collapsed state, like she had no energy to do anything to lift her body. The tip of her tail would just wag when I petted her. So I'm saying that to remind myself that she did know I loved her and I was there. So thank you, my sweet Leia, for 16 years of your love. And if I can, because I need to wrap up this video, and this is already hard, I'm going to try and find any footage I have of her that you all may not have been exposed to, and some of it you have from previous vlogs. It would mean a lot to me if you watched it. So I'm going to play that now of my Leia. And what a love bug she was. My Leia loaf. My little princess. She was named after Princess Leia. I'm going to play that now. So it'd mean a lot to me if you watched it. And I will say, when I say at the end of every video, and it's because of reasons like this, remember to love what you love with everything you have. Because you never know when you won't have it anymore, even though I know she will always be with us. Always. And keep making magic. Thank you all so much. I love you, Leia. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye. calling time. Look at that little face. Look at that little face.
What are you doing? What are you doing up there? There's a happy tail. You want to say hi? This is what I'm stuck with. Leia? Seen 2 of our 3 cats. This is the 3rd one, Leia, who is currently purring because she knows it's walkie time. And if you can't tell, it's extra special walkie time because she's a bat, which I think can fit into Harry Potter. And she's our only cat that will walk us, which maybe will prove me wrong when we go for a walk, so we'll find out. But let's go for a walk, huh? Because I want to reread Harry Potter every year, and I kind of decided that for Halloween I'm going to reread the books, and for Christmas I'm going to rewatch the movies. It doesn't mean I won't do that multiple times a year, but I think that would be a really fun tradition to do. But hi, sweetie. Oh, she's so happy from her walk. I will be adding that to my wall. Hi, sweetie. And you might be wondering what is going on here. Okay, what we are doing here is these are pages from illustrated Harry Potter books, including Jim Kay books. Now, hold on before you come at me here, okay? I know, I just want the treat. I know, but I gotta open it. Do you like the smell? What do you think? Oh my God, yes, oh my God. What's that? The scratcher. Oh my God. It's a festive scratcher. Yeah, get it. What are you doing? Did you try a toy out? This one's boring, isn't it? What about the snowman? Do you like that snowman? Oh, you do? Look at her. Oh, there is Godspeed catnip. We would not be this excited if there was not catnip. What a sweetie. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we're pretty sure she has arthritis, so she has a hard time getting up. Also believing in herself. You can do it, honey. Oh, we're just gonna have a bath? Come on. Come on, you're invited. Oh, look at this little baby. You gonna help me? Yeah? I think this video is long enough. What do you think? I don't think we need all this. Can you lay in my lap? Yes.
We have the bulbs up, we have the ornaments up, we have a very needy cat. Look at this very needy cat. Get up, of course. Oh, she's so sweet. Stop looking at me. Look at that face. Oh, I love you so much. Hey, sweet girl.
What is happening? We have cats. Welcome to the change already. Come on up. Come on up, Abby. Okay, but don't go through the hole. Let me just pick you up. I know, but I'm blind, Mom. Oh, Jesus. Welcome to the change in video. Welcome to my cat Leia. If you stick around for this channel, you'll be getting to see my cats more and more. And let me get into why once I get this one settled. You know what? You're an example of what it is. So what that channel is gonna be, it's gonna be everything. Let's get comfy and chat all things cats. No, let's get comfy and chat all things mental health. Maybe not all things. So I was laying in bed last night, like I said, and I was thinking, like, we don't really sit and prioritize our mental health and go, you know what, this year, I want to improve my stress. I want to be more organized. Like, look at this sweet baby. Because I showed the other two, I gotta show my little Leia. I don't want to wake her. I don't want to touch her. But she loves her a box. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a happy girl. What do you think, Doug? She happy? She's so sweet. Quick momentary break to look at this sweet little baby. Oh, my sweet baby. My little blind kitty. All right? We're so sweet, but we are a menace. Okay, let's check out this bed. Oh. I don't know that I want you on it because she's been throwing up so much, but what do you think of this cozy situation? Oh my God, you are so sweet. Just please don't throw up on this. I'd very much appreciate it. Get it. What a good girl. Oh, Leia. She's so sweet. She's been really struggling with life, haven't we, ma'am? Oh, yes. You're so sweet. Mind the couch. I think I just frightened her. She's under some drugs right now. On some drugs? I don't know. But here she is. This is our sweet Leia. And we're going to be talking about her for a little bit. Until next time, my magical friends, I'm going to cry. Remember to love what you love with everything you have. And keep making magic. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye! Look at this baby all drugged up. But so beautiful.
I love you.
I know.